Both teams scored 6 in overtime number 1, and both teams matched with 7 in overtime number 2. We're tied at 49 and another 4 minutes on the clock.
Neither team wants to go home. Neither team wants to stop playing at Mizzou Arena. You can't blame them.
Opening tip-off won by the Trojans in the third overtime. They won overtime number 2 as well in the tip-off. Escamilla finds Taylor. Back to Stafford. Now Kuda trying to get into the paint, but denied all options by Morrison. Escamilla methodical in his method. Now back to Kuda for 3. Too strong off the right. Has made 2 out of his last 4 3-point attempts, and Morrison down low, turns it over. Lost out of bounds. And I think it says it all on the far sideline with Tom Ward, the head coach of Otterville, putting a hand over his face.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you look at the frustration right there. It's empty, and it's a wasted possession where they didn't get a look at the bucket.
Who needs morning coffee with how exciting this game has been? 3 overtimes after 4 quarters of regulation. 3 minutes left in overtime number 3, still tied at 49. Here's a move down low for Stafford. Stafford high off the glass, and the lead goes back to Community R6. Stafford with his 6th point of the game.
You know, he hasn't been the guy scoring today, but he's had a couple clutch buckets in these overtimes.
Ball tipped out of bounds. Great defense by Community R6. And the real narrative here is that at the half, Community R6 trailed 23-13, Will. And they've come roaring back, outscoring in the second half by 23-13. The exact score at halftime in favor of Otterville.
And that's why we're in overtime, Stanley. It's been a game where neither team wants to go home. They're fighting to the end.
2:20 left to play. Community R6 51, Otterville 49. The largest lead for either side in overtime has been 2 points. Down to 2 minutes and 9 seconds to go at Mizzou Arena. Matthews way out from his usual territory down low to defend the ball. Ball tipped, last touched by Otterville. Great hustle by Brad Connor. There are some players you look at here who started, who have no points, and if they come into the game, they could play hero. One play that comes to mind is Garrett Schmidt tying the game for Community R6 and keep us in overtime when he made his first bucket of the night, or I should say of the morning. Morrison with tough defense, nearly turned it over. Escamilla will try a deep 3. Bang! Community R6 54, Otterville 49.
He's getting it done. He's been the spark today.
Escamilla nearing 30 points, and a shot rolls far left.
Putting the team on his back here, 27 points. I mean, a 3 overtime affair.
And a timeout called on the floor by Matt Thomas. Maybe some clock management skills, but Community R6 is in the driver's seat with their largest lead of the ball game, 54-49 over Otterville. 1:04 left to go in overtime number 3.
How much fun is Garrett Jones going to have breaking this one down? My goodness. I mean, you get 3 overtimes, 2 buzzer beaters. They got a highlight reel just in this game coming up. You talk Coach Thomas, a tremendous job getting it done, and you got to give it up to the senior. You know, he's going to probably average over 20 points every game this season. He facilitates the offense in a team who had to fight. They're looking for their first win of the season. They're 3 overtimes, and they need every single second of it to do it, but they're in the driver's seat right now, up by 5 points.
We talked about it at the end or near the end of the halftime. And the Trojans stayed in the locker room. They came out a little bit late. They did not shoot any warm-ups, and it's paid off in the second half.
But have they shot in the second half? Oh, my goodness. And then here in all the overtimes, teams back and forth, buzzer beaters from both squads.
Ball is turned over. Here goes Morrison. It's a foot race. Off the right side, the finger roll's good, and down to a 3-point lead for Community R6. If Otterville needs a three from either of the Gilmore brothers, it's now. But first, they got to get the ball back into the final 45 seconds we go. Escamilla looking for the dagger, but he's fouled.
Fouled on his drive attempt, and that's a good job. He tried to kick it back out to the wing, but he got tapped. He's drawn about 4 fouls tonight just by driving, and he'll be shooting 2 at the line with the double bonus into play.
Escamilla with 27 points on the game. Came in averaging 22 through the first 2. Community R6 trying to pick up their first win as the free throw misses to the left.
Yeah, so that pedestrian average of 22 will go up after this one. But he's been able to make clutch shot after clutch shot, and the one that extended his team was that three-pointer moments ago.
Escamilla makes the second free throw, which makes him 7 of 9 from the charity stripe in this one.
Still life for the Eagles. They need a quick bucket.
Back to the near side, it's Isaiah Gilmore and Escamilla with 28. Timeout called for Matt Thomas, rather for Tom Ward. Tom Ward's been in this situation many times in his head coaching career, a veteran head coach, now trying to drop something special. His team is down by 4 with 26.5 ticks on the clock. Not to mention overtime number 3.
Yeah, don't mention that one. Just
not a big storyline at all.
Third overtime here at the Norm Stewart Classic, and here in Mizzou Arena, when they schedule these 2 games, and this 4 a.m. game has been the best game so far. I mean, the buzzer beater after buzzer beater. You got a 4-point game with 26 and some ticks to go. And what they need is they might try to get a 3, and then they'll need to foul, but they can still get the 2 as well. It just depends what Coach Ward goes with, but I think they need to get a shot off within 5 seconds. I mean, they need to be 5 to 10 seconds putting something up because they need time if they want to play that free throw game.
I don't think you could have better asked for a better start to your morning. Skip the Wheaties, skip the coffee. All you need is this action here on ESPN3. 2019 Norm Stewart Classic, 26.5 seconds in triple overtime remaining, and Community R6 trying to hold on to a 55-51 lead after they trailed 10 points at the half. Isaiah Gilmore thought about the 3, instead sends it Morrison's way. Morrison too strong, plenty of time. Community R6 gets the ball back. Lost out of bounds as Jim Croker couldn't come down with it.
Yeah, he tapped that ball out of bounds.
And a timeout called on the floor. 17.1 seconds left to go. If you're Community R6, I think you're looking for the dagger.
I mean, you don't have to take a shot if you're Community R6. You can just, they're gonna, I mean, the Eagles are gonna foul, so you just have to make your free throws. You know, those would be that would be the daggers in that sense. But you know, getting ready for the end of the game, Garrett Jones always comes up here, but he's been sitting next to us for 3 periods now that we've been blessed with extra basketball here on this fine Sunday morning. And you see he's beside us on your screen. And I mean, we get ready for all these festivities and the Norm Stewart Classic, but I wasn't expecting something like this. The Eagles, you know, yeah, an animated Isaiah Gilmore talking to his team. I mean, getting ready to, they want to make a quick foul is what they're going to have to do.
Here's the question is, who do you want to foul? It's Danny Kuda, 3 for 4 from the free throw line in this one. Escamilla, 7 of 9. Escamilla is 2 points away from a 30-point ball game, and Case Stafford 1 for 3 from the free throw line. 55-51. Community R6 on top by 4 with 17.1 seconds left to play. Ball is inbound and a hard foul on Escamilla. That's the one guy you don't want to send to the line.
Yeah, he has a little smile after this one because he knows if he can knock down a couple of shots, he can put the game in the bag for his team and secure his team's first win of the season, but obviously big free throws awaiting him.
13 of 15 from the free throw line this young season in 3 games. Came in 6 for 6 in free throws. 7 of 9 in the game alone.
He's a crafty player. I mean, he finds ways. He's really creative. His ability to get to the rim. And we've seen that, making defenders miss. And, you know, the Eagles haven't had an answer for him.
There's point number 28. It's going to take some triples for Otterville to come out of the hole. Down by 5.
Yeah, they needed a quick outlet in 3.
Second free throw is good. 30 points for Caden Escamilla. Down to 12 seconds. Far right corner. Morrison pulls up. Too short. Time ticking away. Try the 3. Isaiah Gilmore. Swish! Down to 3 seconds. You got a foul. 1 second. Time expires. Community R6 wins their first game of 2019. Down by 10 at the half. Down goes Otterville. An exciting game in overtime. Took them 3 tries and one of the closest games of the entire Classic. Community R6, they earned it.
And the longest for sure. And one thing you think about is, you know, you think about player of the game and all, but, you know, it's not a tough decision when you have a guy so clutch, almost racking up a 30 ball for Coach Thomas and his squad. And, you know, that's what you like to see after a team who was outscored 15-2 in the second quarter, had a halftime deficit. They didn't come out and shoot in the second half. And then they end up having their floor general take over, Caden Escamilla. What a game from that young man.
See him there on the bench. No doubt he should be the player of the game. Dropping at 30. And he got it. Here he goes out to center court to receive his $100 scholarship. Sponsored by Nestle Purina. Have a night, young man, or really a morning.
And look at his highlights.
3 for 12 from downtown. 9 of 24 from the floor. He took 24 out of the 57 shots this morning for Community R6. And sponsored by Nestle Purina, the player of the game, Caden Escamilla. 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals. With 30 points and just 1 personal foul. He rebounded the ball 7 times and went 9 for 11 from the free throw line. Those free throws made the difference maker in this game, and Community R6 will head to the locker room happy while the girls get ready to take on each other from both high schools. And here's the play of the game. 3-point bucket from the sharpshooter Escamilla.
By Holiday Inn Executives, and that play of the game, it's so tough to pick a play of the game in a 3 overtime affair, but it had to be done. The clutch 3 that really put the game in the bag, if you think about it.
You could pick any of those buzzer-beating shots as they went through the nylon. And we will send it to Garrett Jones and rejoin you in just a little bit with the girls of Community R6 and Otterville here on ESPN3 at the Norm Stewart Classic.